6 Democratic lawmakers made an extremely viral video over the past week with the title "Don't Give Up the Ship," and it went about as well as the celebrity COVID Imagine video.
Imagine there's no heaven.
And the message of that video was don't give up the ship, which sounds pretty easy. Hey, don't give up, don't give up the ship to enemies. It's kind of what it's about. But their direction to military members and those in the intelligence spaces, well, it was about as clear as mud. And for what you're about to see, poorly executed. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, God, politics. Yeah, a little bit. There's a little bit of politics in this. But most of this is from a military member's point of view of like, what do you, politicians who are speaking to me, military member, want me to do with that information that you're putting out in this video, right? How are military members receiving this information? Oh, and I'll tell you how we receive that information. But first, a word from this video's sponsor, Transcend. Transcend is a medical company that's assisting myself and other veterans in their specific medical needs. For me, my knees crack and they suck. Now, what I needed was recovery, but they focus on other things like metabolic and weight loss medications, hormone optimization, sexual health and performance, pain recovery and inflammation, which was mine. So use my link below or use my code RICHARDHYDE, that's right, my actual name, for 10% off of your first order. Schedule a phone call, talk to them, figure out how they can help you. Now let's jump back into this video. Well, we should probably watch a little bit of it so we can realize and understand why everybody's so upset. I mean, it's hard to really gauge why everybody's pissed off about this thing if we don't just look at it and take it at face value, right? Come on, kids.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
Remember how I just said that this video is kind of like that Imagine song
Imagine.
with all the celebrities from COVID? Well, now it's starting to remind me of those amalgamations that people make with all the different news anchors saying the same thing over and over again. Like it starts off with 4 people saying the same script and then like 8 and then 16 and 32. And then your whole screen is filled up with reporters from all over the country saying the exact same talking point.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media
Can we stop that? First of all, it just makes all of you seem like this is obviously a staged event, which we know it is, right? But they're trying to make it seem like this is a heartfelt speech that we're giving you when they're literally reading off of a teleprompter. You can see their eyes. I'm looking at you right now. This is not looking at you. This is looking at the screen to the side of my camera. Now I'm looking at you. It's so disingenuous when people do that shit. You can't memorize shit? I memorize shit every fucking week. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's move on.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day.
To keep Americans safe.
All right. So we are their audience. The military, the intelligence community. All right, give it to us.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
That trust is at risk? People aren't trusting the military? Oh, did we do something that I'm not aware of yet?
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
Against American citizens.
Oh, geez, they are? How are they doing that? Will you give me an example?
like us. You all swore an oath
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear.
Oh, shit. The threats are here. There's threats. Is it from the administration that is pitting us against one another? That's what it seems like. What are those threats?
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
Well, yeah, unlawful orders. We should refuse them. What orders are you talking about? Are they giving us orders that are illegal that we're supposed to do that we should refuse? What are they?
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army.
Our Navy.
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
That's good to know. Are they in my chain of command? Are senators and congressmen in my chain of command or have any authority over the people above me? If I refuse an order and then have a negative outcome?
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up.
don't give up the ship.
I'm not on a ship. I'm in a basement. Should I not give up the basement? New flag, don't give up the basement. It should be like the Gadsden flag with the snake, but instead of don't step on snake, and instead of the snake, it should be a house with a guy in his armory in his basement, and it says don't give up the basement. I might need to make that. Well, now that you've seen the video with my commentary in between a couple of bits, let's talk about why this video got a whole bunch of people in a tizzy and had this thing go absolutely viral, at least in the political sphere. I think that video on the senator's page is up to how many millions of views? 17 million? That's pretty good. And it's been spread around the freaking military sphere and the internets for the past couple of days that it's not just on that one page on Twitter, it's everywhere. So let's dive a little bit deeper into what exactly the ship is and why we shouldn't give it up. First things first, after watching this video and seeing what happened and how blandly it was kind of put together without saying a lot, I immediately recognized this as just a call for attention. And boy, did it get a lot of attention. I mean, honestly, did you know who Chris DeLuzio was before he got on this video? Nobody did, except for me, because I deployed with Chris in Iraq in 2009 and 10. As a civil affairs sergeant, he was my team leader, usually held by a captain or above for the Army in 03 and above. But we also integrated with the Navy. So each of my deployments, civil affairs had a Navy aspect that was attached to them. And Lieutenant J.G. DeLuzio was mine, which makes me so sad that somebody I knew that was my leader while deployed is a part of some substandard grasp at getting attention. Now you're saying to yourself, but AC, what makes you think that these 6 grown-ass babies are just vying for people's attention and that they don't actually mean to secede or secession or all the other, like, traitorous words that people are coming up with? I'm glad you asked. 1. Earlier on in the video, we see them talk about how this administration, the Trump administration, oh, all the Democrats don't like the current president who's Republican? Say it ain't so. How the Trump administration is directly going after military members and those in the intelligence spheres. Now, do they tell you how? No, they don't. Which would be really easy, right? You could say he's going after us because of example A, B, and C. Which then we could determine whether or not those were actually things, right? And look at that, 5 seconds to add a little bit of context, which context is missing in this entire video. We're getting targeted? How are we getting targeted? Part 2, kind of attached to part 1, right, is pitting the American military against the American people. Did they give an example of that? No. Would I assume that it's probably something to do with immigration? Yes. I would probably assume that it's the National Guards being activated to assist ICE agents in deporting illegal immigrants. Now, maybe you're for open borders, which is retarded, or you're for removing every single person that isn't naturally born here, which is also retarded, or you're somebody in the middle that's like, well, I mean, if they're here doing a job and they haven't done anything illegal, let's give them a path to citizenship. Or if they commit a crime and they're here illegally, like, they can get out. I mean, not just here illegally as a crime, but like here and they stab somebody, or they commit a traffic infraction, or they drive a truck that kills a bunch of people, get them out. But they don't even say that. Not even a broad thing of activating National Guard in order to remove our citizens. 3, and this is huge, the repetition of refuse illegal orders. Now I'm gonna cherry pick a couple of things that I saw of some fantastic military accounts that have already talked about this a little bit and try to boil it down and make it fast for you. We already know what's illegal. We can't line up a group of civilians and execute them. And if we're in a wartime environment, we can't just collect a whole bunch of prisoners of war from a country and then execute them. We also know we're not supposed to commit fratricide, so X-nay on the code red.
Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
You know, for a bunch of military people, you'd think that you would give us a little bit of guidance as to what you mean, or how we should act in the future based on your orders. But they just say illegal orders. Now you could assume that that's got to do with the illegal immigration thing or assisting a state or local municipalities, law enforcement in protests, right? Counter-protesting. But they don't say that. Once again, give us guidance. Give us 5 seconds of you saying a specific example of what you deem to be illegal. And then 4, we've got your backs. How? how do you have their backs? Like, how specifically do you have their backs? Monetarily? Are you going to support them in sort of suit? Are you going to go up to their company commander, battalion, brigade? If it's a GOMAR, a General Order Memorandum of Reprimand, which means a general staff officer, which means a general is like bad, are you gonna go up to that individual officer as a retired officer and say, hey, I told them to do that, it's totally fine? You can't punish them. What authority do you have over them? Is that none? It's none, which brings me to the crux of this whole thing. This stupid, somewhat dangerous, I would say, call to action by these 6 idiots to military members and those in the intelligence field, CIA, FBI, NSA, whatever, is only going to hurt the members that step up and refuse those illegal orders. I can't stop doing this because everything's so dumb. Because let me give you an example of some dumb shit that you didn't think through when you made this video. Some E4 and below who doesn't have common fucking sense yet is gonna get told to shave. And that E4 is gonna be like, my religion says I don't have to shave, but I don't have a shaving profile. They denied it to me. But you can't deny something based on my religious rights. I have rights. I refuse to shave. And that's just one I can think off of the top of my head. Do you know how many other incidents of bullshittery and buffoonery are gonna happen when some fucking E4 and below tries to step up to a senior NCO or company commander and die on the hill of, I shouldn't have to shave? For officers, you of all people should know the stupid shit that lower enlisted or brand new officers do. You can't even put a number on the potential things that they would say or do that they would deem an illegal or unlawful order. And straight up, sorry, not sorry, Chris. Fuck you for saying that you have their backs. Literally how? I'll fucking wait. Chris, you can text me if you want. Disappointed, for sure. I'll fucking wait. Because even if you're in the Armed Forces Committee, you can go up to whatever general you fucking want and say, hey, PFC High shouldn't have to shave. You docked his pay and demoted him to E1. You can't do that because I said I've got his back. That general will respond with, who the fuck are you? No, I'll take care of my Joes. You worry about your bullshit. Unless you feel like you're gonna make another video there, Scorsese. Young military members and those in the intelligence communities, these people will do nothing for you except for their words. I've got your back. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'll look into it. Is all you're gonna fucking get. None of those people can get your job back. None of those people can refute the claims of your unlawful order disordering. For a bunch of officers that served in the military, you've just created such a fucking shit show for all your cohorts that are still currently serving in the capacity of a senior NCO or an officer. Could you imagine if some dickhead congressman said, you don't have to follow orders if you don't like them as long as you think that they're unconstitutional? Do you know what you would fucking say to that screen? You would probably play it in front of your fucking formation the next day and then look at everybody and say, if any of you try to pull this fucking bullshit, I swear to God I'll NJP or put you in the captain's mast or give you an Article 15 faster than you can shit out the words, but they said they had my back. 'Cause they don't. I have your back. In what fucking way? Verbal support? So in a nutshell, this stupid attention-seeking video has the potential to cause a massive headache and really jack up military members' lives because all 6 people wanted was to say Trump bad, flex their political muscle, get reelected for the next campaign, high-five one another when they go to their Democratic committee thing, and get a couple extra minutes on TV, which I know, I'm adding to it. Now everybody gets to see the video, but honestly, sunlight is the best disinfectant, and if you don't nip this shit in the butt, some poor fucking kid is gonna get in trouble because he thinks that Representative DeLuzio from Pennsylvania is gonna help his ass out in Fort fucking Huachuca. I forget where Huachuca is. And by the way, when I say it was meant for publicity and for all the hates and likes just to get them attention, Well, the president said, well, this is sedition, and then tweeted out, if it's a seditious act, then you can get the death penalty. Which doesn't mean that he's saying go round up these congressmen and kill them. You think you could read between the lines, you 6 Congress people that made all of us read between the lines with your wink wink and nudge nudges during your 6-minute video. And because the president said that, well, guess what? Now we've got every fucking one of these morons that stirred the pot saying, I've been shot at I was overseas, and he said he's gonna kill me. His president said he's gonna kill me. What a bunch of fucking 6-year-olds. I wish the president would have just said, look at these idiots. How could officers of the military say such a stupid and inflammatory thing to the lower enlisted and screw over the officers that are currently serving? So there you have it. Morons make a video to get attention, and they do it in a moronic way. I say potentially, it's gonna cause a headache. God, it's gonna cause such a headache. To which now they get a bunch of attention, so much so that the president responds, to which they now get to respond and play the victim of like, oh my God, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. It's like your fucking little brother just like smacking you across the face. And you're like, you son of a bitch. And then him running up into the kitchen to see your mom be like, he said he's gonna kill me. He said he's gonna kill me. Like, you fucking started it. Oh, they're so fucking grown-ass adults acting like 5-year-olds trying to get attention. They get it. And then they cry like, oh my God. He said he's gonna kill me. Don't look at me. Look at me. Anywho, that's why everybody's all upset about it. It's why I'm irritated by it. I just shook my head the whole time. I was like, I don't want to make a video on this. I just want it to go away. And then it went fucking everywhere. And now I'm like, well, so much for ignoring it. Best way to support the channel is get yourself a shirt. Link down below. Cheapest way to support the channel is tell me what you think in the comments. Yes, this is stupid. Yes, it's stupid. If you don't think it's stupid, or if you have a different point of view, I'd like to hear it. I do read them comments, and people who disagree with me every once in a while have a good point, or they tell me some different point of view that I didn't think of. If you want to see a little additional things of what I think, go ahead and subscribe to Pepperbox, where you can see everything uncensored with additional content. And for Black Friday this week, I think there's like 30 or 20% off, so I don't know, buy 1 month and then watch everything you can and then cancel it. I don't give a shit. See you next time, weirdos.